Hey guys, it's MAC Conference Championship game here at Ford Field between the Miami University Redhawks and the Western Michigan Broncos. So boys, who would have thought we'd make it all the way to Ford Field for the MAC Conference Championship game? Starting out the season terribly, turning it around through grinding and building chemistry with the boys, we have finally found our way to getting a winning streak. We had a 5-game win streak to end the season. And the regular season, at least that is. Let's hope that that's not where the win streak ends. But we found ourselves in the MAC Conference Championship game as we are underway in Michigan. Lionel Billip Williams back to return as he's going to find his way down to the 21-yard line. Comparison here, pretty even as far as average yards per game goes. But we're going to try to just lean on the ground game to start. We'll get the ball out to Keon Mozzie, who's going to find a nice open space right away, and he gets a huge 17-yard run immediately. Keon Mozzie. That is a nice little burst of acceleration that we have loved to see from him this year, being the main reason that he's been over 1,000 yards rushing and trying to build on it. Keon Mozzie now in the air. He gets a receiving catch for 9 yards. We'll find ourselves nearing midfield at a 2nd and 1. Situation, throwing it short, and it is caught for Reggie Virgil. Sometimes those throws look a little sketchier than we want them to look, but we try to throw them low so that it ends up working out for us. Looks like we're just going to run this thing up to Keon Mozzie again, sidesteps the defender and gets 5 yards. 2nd down, little play action. Throwing this one deep, it is caught and dropped. Oh no, that was a dart to Jack Cold Iron, but he just couldn't hold on to it. Otherwise, perfection. To see how we can pick it up on 3rd down. Just gonna throw it and hit Reggie Virgil in the chest. Well, okay, Reggie. Did you not want to play today? I guess not. That is a very surprising drop. And that's a terrible punt. This is going right out of the back of the end zone. Definitely sucks because Keon Mozzie was really going off there to start those first couple plays, and then it just kind of stalled out. Going with the jet touch, and he's going to lose 2 yards. Corey subtly sneaking into the backfield and getting the big stop. Going to throw quickly underneath and gets leveled from Eli Blake. He somehow doesn't get the first. I don't know. I feel like his momentum wasn't really stopped there, but I mean, I guess I'll take it. So it's 3rd and inches. Gonna see about trying to shoot the gap. It's a play action fake, actually. And wow. Tight end making an insane effort. And there is a flag. Let's hope it's on the offense. Follow-up is on the offense. Unfortunate that it's still going to give them the first. So they still get the first down. They just don't really get the yardage, basically. Because they're still on the 34-yard line. Oh my gosh. We can't get an angle on this kid as he is just embarrassing us. Mr. Buckley over there does have 1,000 yards rushing as well in the season, as he's also been a workhorse for them. Going under pressure, and down he goes, Christian McKinney. Man, we haven't said that name in a hot minute. He comes in free and gets a big sack. Love to do what he did to Cam Ward, when he just basically ripped the ball out of his hands and scored a touchdown. That would be clutch for us. 2nd down and 14. As they're going to drop back and throw it over the middle. Caught for a 1st down. Tight ends are just definitely embarrassing us right now, because we don't really have an answer for this offense at Western Michigan. They're kind of moving down the field at will. This is kind of where we stalled in our drive, so we're hoping something similar happens. And he gets nailed as he lets it go. Eli Blakey in on the hit, just a tad slow, or else it would have been even better. So it'll be a 2nd down situation. Throwing it underneath quickly, gets hit hard, and it's a 3rd and 7. Throwing it. Deflected, incomplete. Rayon Strader. Great diving play by Rayon Strader, as they'll force the punt, which goes out of bounds, and it's terrible. Out of the 24. So no harm, no foul. We'll go back out on offense. Keon Mozzie. Jeez, making him look silly out there. Good gain. We love to just ground and pound and get down the field. Sometimes you just can't do it. Keon Mozzie, though, getting another nice run, first down. Has 36 yards rushing on the day. It looks like they're kind of going a little heavier set now. And gonna run with the QB. Brett Gabbert getting 8 yards. Be real nice if we were able to do an RPO here. Keon Mozzie getting another nice gain, and we'll go for another first down. 1st and 10, just past the midfield, and oh my lord, almost throwing a pick. Jeez, you can't throw that a little bit higher there, bud? Dang, that was not at all what you want to see. As we're just going to run off with it. Throwing it to Keon Mozzie, who gets 2 yards and out of bounds. Not really what we were going for. We were hoping we were going to be able to stay in bounce a little bit better than that. It brings up a 3rd down and 8 situation. Throwing it. Oh, he would have had him, but he got nailed as he let it go, and it is incomplete pass, and we're just going to have to punt it away again. See if this is a little bit better angled punt. Looks a little bit better than the last one. That shouldn't die out at about the 3 or 4. It is the 4. Well, I think we go aggressive. I hate doing it, but sometimes it's warranted. So we're going to do it, and we're going to shoot the gap, and he loses 2. So at the end of the first quarter, still a dead even tie, 0-0. I wouldn't even say it's all defensive. I'd say it's all terrible offense. 2nd down and 12. We're going to send some heat again. Going up the middle, and he's going to get a nice gain. Gets hit hard. But 3rd down and 3. Situation. Throwing it. Deep. It's deflected. Great job, Caleb Tubbs, forcing the punt. So punt situation as they get it off. And Cam Perry back to return. We'll get it at about exactly the midfield. So can anyone get any offense? So far, it's been nothing every single time for every team. 2nd down and 7. Running it off to Keon Mozzie on the direct snap. Getting this thing to a 3rd and manageable. Try to motion our guy over. Get an extra blocker in the box. Keon Mozzie gets enough for the first down again, and we'll keep the chains moving. This is seemingly what we gotta do to be able to keep the drive alive. Throwing it back out in front, and he loses a yard. I can say we definitely don't like that anyway. Throwing this one, has a step, it's caught, and he's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Cade McDonald getting a nice open spot on the corner route, and he is almost into the end zone. 38 yards on the catch, sets him up with a 1st and goal. Running it to the running back. He gets a yard. Keon so close. Jalen Brunson in the backfield. He's going to just go and power his way forward, and we're in for the first touchdown of the game. 7-0 Miami. A good drive. Good power running, and one nice, beautiful arcing throw from Brett to be able to hook up with Cade McDonald to get into the red zone and down to the goal line. Jalen Brunson, the beneficiary, as he punches it in. So down to 5 minutes left in the half. We'll kick it back off with a lead for the first time. They really like going this quads formation. They're going to run the ball with their quarterback, who gets absolutely popped. Oh my gosh, he's getting up slow. I mean, I don't blame him. That was not ideal. That's a great coverage attempt there, as he's going to get basically nothing. Really, really good coverage there. And instead, it's going to be a strip sack. Picked up by an offensive lineman and taken down by Yarbrough. Great strip sack from Corey Suttle. Almost able to get it right back. And wow, that offensive lineman is just tapping on the helmet of Michael Yarbrough. That's a bold move. I mean, yeah, he's twice the size, if not triple the size, but your guys just fumbled the ball and almost turned it over in your own territory. So it'll be a 4th down situation, and they're going to have to punt it away. Good defense from the Redhawks to keep this a 7-point lead and give us a chance to get a return. Cam Perry just not fast enough. Gets to the 37. 4-minute drill now for the Redhawks. That's kind of been their bread and butter lately, as we're going to go up the middle for 4 yards. Always stinks on those ones when we know we could have gone for more yards. Just ended up thinking we needed to push the pile and not actually needing to push the pile at all. But 2nd down now. Throwing it underneath. Cade McDonald, 1st down. Going back, play action, fake again. Has a guy deep, tight end. It is caught down to the 3. What a throw from Brett Gabbard. He's got pretty much all of his throw yards just in 2 throws. What a dart. Down to his tight end, Jack Cold Iron. Had the linebacker beat deep and drills it with a 47-yard pass on the money. So we'll take it down to the 2-minute warning and see what we can get on offense. Going back to Keon Mozzie for a yard. We're fine with being stuffed here just a little bit because we're definitely fine with just being able to run a little bit of clock. We'd like to guarantee that they don't get any more points before the half. So that's what we'll try to do. Up the middle, Keon Mozzie touchdown. His 6th touchdown of the season. And we are pushing the lead a little bit further here, winding down time in the first half. So we'll kick it away, 14-0 here in the MAC Conference Championship game. With just over a minute left. I don't think our team is definitely built for all of this dime formation junk, as they are going to go wide open up the middle for a nice gain again. I feel like maybe we send a little pressure. Let's kind of see what happens. We'll try to be a little bit aggressive here, and instead they're going to get a nice gain and out of bounds for 9 yards. And here we are again. Next play there, and he breaks a tackle. What a job from him to break that tackle. Schrader finally brings him down. But this is definitely not ideal, as they're gaining just a lot of yards here. As that's almost intercepted, and the horrible tackling gets him a first down. Oh my goodness, Matt Slowpeck almost just ended the game. He was about this close from being able to end that game. But 48 seconds left in the half, throwing it over quick, and it's almost caught. Really just mauled over the middle. 2nd down and 10. In the red zone fringe territory. Throwing it, dropped. Wow, what a drop. They actually didn't catch it. 3rd down and 10. Throwing it right at Ty Wise, and he drops it. Oh, it was right there. It's not ideal. So they're going to kick that one deep, and he's going to make it. So drills the field goal. Then they get on the board, trying to draw a little bit closer here towards the end of the half. So they'll kick it away and give Lionel Billip Williams an opportunity to return. As he gets a nice return, breaks a tackle, stumbling around, and gets to the 27. Kind of wondering here if Reggie Virgil has a step on him. He does. Throwing it deep, and it is caught by Reggie Virgil. What a grab from Reggie Virgil. He looked like he had a step. That ball had way too much air under it and gave the corner a chance to catch up, but Reggie Virgil just mosses this man. Really just a quite legendary throw. As trying to get out of the pocket, he's just going to go down for the sack, and a timeout will have to be called. That's unfortunate. Play was a little bit too long developing, as he's going to throw it, and it's way underthrown. Holy smokes, Brett. You mean to tell me, Brett, this guy got killed in press? You have this man beat so badly. This is incredible. And you throw this thing here? This is dropping 3-4 yards behind Javon Tracy. Or else that's a touchdown. I mean, jeez. Alright, well, 3rd and 20 now. Throwing it deep, it is knocked incomplete in a 4th down situation. Honestly, the really main players to go for it on 4th down. I mean, the punt's probably not worth it since it's going to give them time. We have an opportunity here to basically end the quarter by making it take long enough on this play. Throwing it deep to Cade McDonald. Oh, he had it in his hands. Incomplete. He almost had the touchdown. It was a good throw. He just couldn't hold on to it. So we'll go to the half. 14-3 is our score. Redhawks leading. Keon Mozzie having himself a nice day on the ground with a touchdown already and 60-plus yards. Will it be unfortunate that we didn't get the touchdown there? Maybe. I don't know if it'll necessarily come back to bite us as hard as it could. But I don't know about you, but I don't really want to chance it. I'd like to just try to put this thing away the best that we can. Wow, what a run up the middle. Jalen Buckley, kind of a dog, not gonna lie. He's really making us work for it today. Going with the jet touch. And Ty Wise is going to get a big hit on him, but they get the first down. 1st and 10 situation. Going to run the ball to Jalen Buckley again for another 5. Pretty much everything they're trying to do right now has been effective. It's just been 1 or 2 things that haven't gone their way that's been what's been forcing their drives to stall. Well, this isn't ideal because Corey Suttle is on the verge of being injured. Oh, that's a great little seam throw. Nice gain, and it's a 1st down. That's just rough right there. That's a real tough assignment. Gonna be running the ball. Ty Wise gets there just in time to be able to slow him up. And they get that stop. Haven't really been able to blitz this guy just because he's been getting rid of the ball too fast, and he's been running the ball a tremendous amount. Oh, that could be a touchdown. It's a dart. Caleb Tubbs got demolished. I don't even know what route that was. I didn't see him until way late. But the touchdown is massive. Bugs Mortimer. That's quite the name, though. 2-point conversion with the QB over the middle. Perfect. Touchdown. They'll get the 2 points. So it's 14-11. Dang, this is an entire different vibe right now. Entire different vibe. This went from potential blowout city to do we even hold the lead through the 3rd quarter? The MAC Conference Championship is a thing we've been striving for this entire season so far, because we want to make that a reality for the guys that have been working hard for us. All of the seniors, we have again 10 seniors on this squad that have been working their butts off on the offensive side of the ball. Brett Gabbard is one of those seniors. He's a 6-year senior, same with Jack Cold Iron. And both running backs, Keon Mozzie and Kenny Tracy, both of them seniors that we won't be getting back. For wide receivers, Cade McDonald, Andre Johnson, those guys won't be coming back. And then we'll have a handful of guys on the offensive line that will also be missed pretty heavily. So it'll be tough to really get all of these guys back should this be one of the last games that they play, as that is going to be a dart thrown for Brett Gabbard and a 1st down. On the defensive side of the ball, we didn't get hit as hard with seniors. It's really just Brian Ugwu and Corey Suttle, but then both of our linebacker studs, Ty Wise and Matt Slopek, are also seniors, so they will definitely be missed, as all 4 of those guys have been making plays all year. We'll motion a receiver over, get an extra blocker in the box, and Keon Mozzie gets a 1st down. Good run. Ground game working pretty well for us here as we'll go counter. And gets 2 more. Keon up to 97 rushing yards on the day, as we're trying to make his senior year go out with a bang. Good job to Kenny Tracy. Finding space, gets a 1st down on the screen. Go with a little play action fake on this one. Throwing it high ball. It's not high enough. It's incomplete. Bringing up a big 2nd down. Got to at least make this more manageable. We can't be coming out here with a 2nd and 10 into a 3rd and 10. So we get a few yards. It's 3rd down. Throwing it. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. Cade McDonald. What a dart from Brett Gabbard. Saw the cover 3 and just threw a laser into the seam for Cade McDonald. Touchdown. That is some chemistry that he is building with Cade McDonald right now, as it's going to be sad to see Cade McDonald go as a senior. He has been a pleasure to have on this squad. What a throw. Kind of making up a little bit for his drop there at the end of the half. That would have been a touchdown for him anyway. So good drive from the Redhawks, burning 4.5 minutes of clock. We're down to under a minute left in the 3rd quarter in a 10-point game. I haven't really tried to send a massive amount of pressure towards this guy, so we'll see if we can kind of spice it up a little bit. As there we go, gets an immediate sack. Michael Yarborough getting in there and getting a sack. They weren't expecting that at all, and that's big. And here we are. Throwing a screen play. Oh my gosh, Ty Wise got barely blocked at the end of it. So at the end of the 3rd quarter, 11-21. Good offensive drives for the Redhawks, having almost 200 passing and 100 rushing yards. Trying to keep it balanced, trying to keep it even, and trying to move the ball down the field. So 3rd down and 13. Throwing it right at Caleb Tubbs, who gets an interception. And is he going to be fast enough to take this thing house? Not quite, as he gets knocked out of bounds, but down at the 12-yard line. Caleb Tubbs getting a super clutch interception. It could potentially be a death sentence for this Western Michigan team, as we'll run up the middle for 4 yards. Keon Mozie's probably going to finish up this drive if we score a touchdown, and he probably is going to be done. So we get a few more yards to a 3rd and 3. Throwing it back in the end zone. Touchdown, Javon Tracy. What a route and what a throw. That could be a dagger. That's a big blow for this Western Michigan team, as we'll be kicking it off with now a 17-point lead with under 7 minutes left in this game. So if Western Michigan's going to do anything, they need to do it now. Huge hit from Matt Slopek late. Holds on to it, though. Dang. 1st and 10. Over the middle. Down he goes. Nazir Washington with a good tackle. More or less just trying to keep everybody in front of you, because that is going to be the big part of this game that makes a difference. Wow, what a diving attempt. He missed, though. Not a big fan of all of the diving misses, because there has been a lot of them. I'll tell you that much. Throwing it, and he overthrows him out of bounds. 2nd down coming up. 2nd and 10. Throwing it underneath. Caught and out of bounds. Gain of 5. Bugs Mortimer with another nice gain. Just slowly moving the chains. 3rd and 5. Throwing it short. Caught and out of bounds. Can we get any pressure on this man? I mean, he is just having some uncontested plays right now. Over the middle, another 10 yards. Anything and everything that they want right now is just entirely free. Dropping back to throw. Open guy breaks a tackle, and he's in for the touchdown. Just a big play. Wanted it way more than our corner did, apparently. And he just ran him over. And they're back on the board. Kind of surprised that they're not going for the onside kick. With only 4.5 minutes left. It's not unreasonable to be able to just run the rest of this clock out, as we're going to start out at the 20-yard line. So we'll put Kenny Tracy in as the starting back now for a couple snaps, just so we can get some nice energy refilled for Keon Mozzie for the next game. So we get a good 7 yards on that first carry. That's a very nice carry for Kenny, as we're only pretty much a 1st down or 2 away from being able to more or less ice this game out. Kenny Tracy getting a 1st down carry, and we are just moving the chains right on down the field. Motioning Cade McDonald over. Have an opportunity to get him the ball on the jet touch, and he's going to get 7 out of it. Down to about 2.5 minutes for Kenny Tracy. Wow, he got ran over. But we're down to the 2-minute warning. There's really one 1st down away from this game being done. Kenny Tracy, good vision, gets 6. Working to run out the clock for this MAC championship game. Fake run to Cade, and we're almost going to get that first, as it is 3rd and inches. Off to Cade McDonald, gets the first. Final timeout called, and that is not going anywhere. Dang. So we should just be able to kneel the rest of it out and come away with the MAC Conference Championship trophy. 28-18, your final score in the conference championship game. Brett Gabbert having himself a pretty solid day here in Michigan, as we're able to come away with the win. Overall, just threw some nice passes in general to be able to get his guys open in space, and they made some good plays for him. Keon Mozzie also having a nice solid day out there, getting 100 yards on the ground yet again. But Brett Gabbert ended up 14 for 22 for 202 yards and 2 touchdowns. Keon Mozzie 21 for 107 and a touchdown. Kenny Tracy 7 for 28. 5 for 75 for Cade McDonald and a touchdown. Jack Cold Iron had 56 yards on 2 catches, and Reggie Virgil 2 for 44. Javon Tracy kind of left in check there. He only had 5 yards, which was a touchdown. 9 tackles for Michael Yarborough, leading the team there. Eli Blakey, which is our team leader in tackles, he got 8 of them. 5 TFLs for Corey Suttle. Dang. 1 sack for Christian McKinney, Michael Yarbrough, and Corey Suttle, with an interception for Caleb Tubbs, which almost was a pick 6. The 5 TFLs for Corey Suttle is officially a Miami Redhawks record for single-game TFLs, as he passes Michael Yarbrough with his 4 that he had a couple weeks ago. So let's go, boys. Your Redhawks are the MAC champions. So now comes down to the question, to keep or not to keep the staff. I think the beginning of the year definitely wanted to just can this guy immediately as soon as possible. But I think realistically over the course of the season, the offense has improved and was better. They're 50-50. I think he's safe for now, I would say, with me. We did just win, 6 games in a row and the conference championship game. So it's not like we were completely awful and couldn't win anything at all. So I don't think that he lost his job in that sense. But when we were 2-5, he definitely was on the hot seat. So I would say that I think we could extend him for 1 more year. We'll kind of reassess it next year. Defensively, though, I think it's a fire. I think he had some moments where it was good, and it also might be personnel. But I think we had too many times that we had just given up way too many completions, way too many passes. And we got torched by a lot of bad teams. So I think that it's unfortunate for him. But Austin King, I'm sorry, man. You're no longer going to be a part of this franchise. We're going in 2 separate paths. But Brent Cobb, you'll be here for another season. We'll see what we want to do. He has a spread offensive scheme, so we technically can change to a different spread playbook for the next season. Corey Suttle ends up winning the MAC Defensive Player of the Week and the National Defensive Player of the Week. And Keon Mozzie winning the MAC Offensive Player of the Week. So it looks like your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner is Dylan Gabriel. 3,700 yards, 38 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. That's a pretty clutch season from him right there. Keon Mozzie is going to officially win the Best Running Back Award. He's up almost to 1,200 yards and 16 touchdowns. He's having a really good season. Michael Yarbrough wins the Best Defensive Back. He was kind of all over the place, making tons of tackles, making TFLs, making interceptions. He was really doing everything we asked for him and more. And here we go, Texas State. So we'll be playing in the Myrtle Beach Bowl against the Bobcats. Keon Mozzie was a first-team All-American for running back, and Matt Slopak made the second-team National All-American list, as I can't believe we actually hit our goal. We actually won 8 games. So we do get yet another upgrade. I think now it's worth going for the wide receivers for less time to scout them, because we're definitely going to have to scout some of them, especially in this transfer portal, and same with running backs. You know, it's probably worth doing the 3rd tier for D-line, since we're going to be losing 2 star seniors, and we didn't get anybody in recruiting so far. So we'll do that for the 3rd tier. So boys, we're just moving right along, heading to a bowl game in year 1. Super pumped about that. Can we cap off a pretty solid season with a bowl game win? Texas State is definitely not an easy opponent, so it's not going to be a gimme game. They're going to be one of those teams that are technically rated better than us, so we're going to have to show up. But we did hit our 8 games for our goal, and that is going to help us to be able to extend our coach contract for another season. So that is clutch for us. I would love to see which guys you are most excited for seeing down the stretch. Any of these young guys that have been really standing out to you? I mean, I really feel like Christian McKinney was one of those guys at the beginning of the season that we thought was going to be just the next big thing, but then he just kind of didn't do anything for the rest of the season. Now, he might have been playing in a spot that we just didn't have him schematically in the game very much, and so that could have been one of the reasons. But with both Matt Slopak and Ty Wise leaving, he's definitely going to be used very regularly. He's probably going to be moved to one of the middle linebacker spots so that he can start on a regular basis and help us out, because we're definitely going to need some assistance out there. But will we be able to fill the gap from some of these roster positions with all these seniors leaving? That's going to be the big question. But we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. We have to focus on the here and the now, and that is playing against Texas State in the bowl game. So trying to keep our boys focused on the game instead of on the last game they're going to be playing with 15 of their teammates that are starters. It's going to be important to just try to focus on sticking together as a team and just doing the things we need to do to be able to get this win. We want to send those guys out with a good victory, and we're not going to do that by just being caught up in the moment. So we have to keep our boys focused, and that's what we've been trying to strive on this whole week in practice, is being able to stay mindful and stay focused and stay grinding. So this mission is not over yet. We have to finish out this season strong. But so we will be headed to play against Texas State in the next matchup. Hope you guys are pumped for it. And I'll see you guys in that one. But until then, why don't you check out one of these videos?